expression of the series of policy measures that have been taken, which is why we are a resilient economy. As you rightly said, during and after COVID, a lot of the economies, including the advanced economies, have had a terrible time. We have seen economies around India, which includes Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, all on the verge of collapse, and in fact, some of them collapsing, and then needing help from IMF to revive these economies. But what happened from an Indian perspective was a very prudent fiscal planning, a very prudent monetary planning, a very prudent financial planning, expenditure, so that the support given was very, very targeted. Having said all of that, I know, given the fact that we took the right policy steps and we were able to provide the support that is needed, there is still a lot of headwinds, and much of the headwinds is a targeted headwinds against India. To take some examples, obviously we will be losing about $40 billion of exports to US if these tariffs continue, which is about 1% of our GDP. But more importantly, when we look at the pushback against H-1B and the change in policy on the H-1B visas, it's going to impact our exports and services. Not only that, it's also going to impact the remittances that are going to come back. In addition to that, as Dr. Sharad Kohli was saying, the vegetable prices and the food prices have, by sheer luck, the prices have not gone up because the harvest was good. But that's going to get impacted by climate change as we move forward. So as you rightly said, Vineet, there is a lot of headwinds. We have been facing that continuously. But some of these headwinds, such as the H-1B visa issue, is very, very targeted towards India. And therefore, the fact that we have been able to bounce back, the fact that the inflation has been controlled, especially because of the GST being reduced at the right time, which is reflected in the prices going down and therefore the demand going up and therefore jobs coming back. So it's not just about a GDP number, it's also what does it reflect below that GDP number. For example, if you look at US and their GDP of about $30 trillion, a lot of it is driven by billionaires. So it's not leading to jobs. Whereas in India, because of the secular demand that has come up, because of the reduction in prices, it's actually leading to jobs coming in. But we also need to keep in mind that some of the jobs are getting destroyed in the textile industry, which leads to about 45 million jobs in India. Because a lot of the textile exports are getting diminished because of the tariffs. So it's a very, very dynamic situation we are in. The Q1 numbers were very good. We had 7.8% growth in Q1, and which is why IMF is kind of factoring in the Q1 numbers and therefore saying that in the entire year we will have 6.6% growth despite all the headwinds. But we do need to keep in mind we have the headwinds. We need to continue to be on a very tight fiscal path. We need to ensure that we don't overspend, and also do keep in mind that suddenly we have been imposed with a lot of defense costs thanks to our neighbors, and therefore that will be borne by the exchequer, and that will have an impact on the fiscal deficit. That 4.4% figure may get diluted a bit as we move forward towards the end of the year. But the end result and the goal is that we have become the growth engine of the world, and it's not China, it's not Germany, as you rightly said, it's India which is leading the growth in the world, and we are the fastest growing major economy thanks to the policy initiatives. It's not by any accident, but it's because of the policy structure and the initiatives that we have adopted that we are in the situation that we are in.
All right, Gautam, how do you